Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a really significant shift we're seeing in the business world. This increasing reliance on data science to drive environmental sustainability.
Yeah, it's a big one.
We've got some fascinating insights from a research report by Cognitive Market Research that really, digs into how analyzing environmental data isn't just a nice to have anymore.
No, not at all.
It's becoming, well, a core strategic advantage for companies aiming for a greener future.
Exactly. It's moving beyond just like aspirational goals to concrete data-backed action. Our goal in this deep dive is to explore how businesses are using information, everything from how much energy they consume
Right.
and water they use to the emissions they generate and the waste they produce, basically using all that to make smarter choices, choices that benefit both the planet and, well, their bottom line too.
Okay, so when we talk about bringing data science into environmental business strategy, what's the fundamental aim here? It's not just about creating pretty charts, is it?
Absolutely not. No. The report emphasizes that the primary purpose is to cultivate sustainable practices throughout a company, significantly optimize the way resources are utilized, and ultimately elevate their overall environmental responsibility.
Right.
Data science provides the framework to gather, analyze, and interpret these vast quantities of environmental data, which in turn empowers more informed and impactful strategic decisions. Think of it as moving from broad strokes to laser-focused interventions.
So instead of generally trying to cut back on energy, data can pinpoint exactly where the biggest energy drains are happening, like specifically?
Precisely, yeah. By meticulously analyzing patterns in energy consumption, water usage, even waste streams, businesses can uncover those often hidden inefficiencies.
Hmm.
And the report makes it clear this isn't just about achieving environmental kudos. It translates directly into tangible cost savings while simultaneously lessening their environmental impact.
Okay.
It's a powerful alignment of interests, really.
And this data-driven approach isn't limited to just day-to-day operations, is it? I know the report also touches on managing environmental risks. How does data science contribute there?
Yeah, that's a really compelling part. It's the predictive capability it offers. Through advanced analytics and machine learning models, companies can actually forecast potential environmental hazards.
Forecast them, like predicting the future.
Well, sort of. Predicting pollution levels based on certain conditions, or even the likely impact of natural disasters in their operating areas.
Oh, okay.
This foresight enables them to proactively implement mitigation strategies and build greater resilience into their business models. It's about anticipating challenges rather than simply reacting to them.
Right, getting ahead of the curve.
Exactly. Imagine, say, a food processing plant using predictive analytics on weather patterns and historical runoff data. They could anticipate a potential flooding event that might contaminate their water source,
I see.
allowing them to take preventative measures well in advance.
That's a great example of getting ahead of potential problems. The report also suggests that this data analysis can spur innovation within the sustainability realm. How does that work?
Well, when businesses rigorously analyze their environmental performance data, they see what's effective and what's not. It naturally drives them to seek out better solutions.
Makes sense.
This evidence-based insight can fuel innovation in sustainable technologies, encourage the adoption of more environmentally sound behaviors within the organization, and even guide the development of greener products and more efficient waste management systems.
Mhm.
It's about seeing the data, understanding the gaps, and then innovating to fill them.
Here's a fascinating tidbit from the report. It mentions that 69% of Indian organizations already use sustainability data in their decision-making. That seems like a surprisingly high adoption rate.
It is a notable figure, yeah, and it
Right.
really underscores the increasing global recognition of the importance of this data.
Hmm.
What's equally significant is that 75% of surveyed organizations in India are demanding sustainability data from their suppliers.
From suppliers, too.
Yes, and a remarkable 78% are requiring environmental impact data from their logistics partners.
So it's spreading through the whole chain.
Exactly. It signifies this ripple effect throughout the supply chain, where businesses are holding their entire network accountable for environmental performance. It's no longer just about a company's direct footprint.
Okay, so let's dig into the mechanics of this. How does a business actually go about implementing data science for environmental sustainability? What are the fundamental steps involved?
The report outlines several key stages. It begins, fundamentally, with data collection. That's the foundational layer.
Right, gathering the info.
Exactly. This involves gathering information from a wide array of sources. Think sensors monitoring air and water quality, satellite imagery tracking land use changes,
Okay.
and even internal historical records detailing energy consumption, water usage, waste generation. It's about casting a wide net, basically, to capture all relevant environmental data.
That sounds like it could result in a massive and, well, probably very messy data set.
That's exactly right. And that leads us straight to the next critical phase, data pre-processing,
Ah, the cleanup job.
pretty much. Raw data is rarely in a usable format. It often contains missing values, errors, or inconsistencies arising from different measurement methods or sensor malfunctions.
Hmm.
This stage is all about cleaning, transforming, and standardizing that raw data to ensure its accuracy and reliability. It's like prepping your canvas before you start painting. The
Well,
quality of the final artwork depends on it.
right, ensuring you're working with a clean and consistent data set. Makes sense. What happens once the data is trapped?
Then comes exploratory data analysis, or EDA.
EDA.
This
Good.
is where you start to really delve into the data to understand its characteristics and uncover initial patterns through visualizations like graphs, charts, heat maps.
Seeing the data visually.
Exactly. Businesses can identify trends, anomalies, relationships within their environmental data. It's about asking initial questions of the data and visually exploring the answers. For example, a manufacturer might use EDA to visualize their water usage across different production lines over time, immediately highlighting any unusual spikes.
Okay, visually identifying key areas or potential problems. And after that, initial exploration.
The next step is model development. This involves applying statistical techniques and machine learning algorithms to build predictive models and identify deeper patterns.
Right, the number crunching part.
Kind of, yeah. These models can then be used for various purposes like forecasting future environmental impacts under different scenarios or optimizing resource allocation for maximum efficiency.
So using the insights from the past to predict and optimize for the future.
Precisely. And the final stage, logically, is interpretation and implementation.
Putting it all into action.
Exactly. This is where the insights generated by the models are translated into actionable strategies and concrete changes within the business. This could involve making data-driven decisions to adopt more sustainable practices, reduce environmental impact, and ensure compliance with environmental regulations. It's about taking the knowledge and actually putting it into practice.
The report also highlights key components that make up this data science approach in environmental business. It sounds like another way of looking at the same process, maybe emphasizing the crucial elements.
Yes, exactly. It's a complementary perspective focusing on the essential building blocks. Again, data collection is paramount, emphasizing the diverse sources and the wide range of environmental aspects being monitored.
Can't skip that.
Nope. Then data processing and cleaning are reiterated for their vital role in ensuring the integrity of the entire analysis. Like we said, if the data isn't reliable.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Precisely. The insights derived from it just won't be sound.
Underscoring the importance of that initial data foundation.
Absolutely. Following that, exploratory data analysis is highlighted once more as the stage where those critical trends, anomalies, and correlations are first identified.
Flooding the patterns.
Right. Then we have modeling and predictive analytics, where the emphasis is on leveraging algorithms to estimate environmental impacts, optimize resource utilization, and assess potential environmental risks. Think of maybe a shipping company using predictive analytics to optimize their routes based on weather patterns and fuel consumption data,
Okay, yeah.
minimizing both costs and emissions.
And the ultimate goal that ties all these components together.
Decision support and implementation.
Hmm.
It's about harnessing all those insights from the data and actually applying them to make well-informed decisions and embed sustainable practices into the core operations of the business, making it real.
Now, the report also takes a realistic look at the challenges involved in using data science for environmental purposes. It's not a silver bullet, it seems. What are some of the key limitations?
Yeah, that's important to cover. One significant challenge is indeed data quality and availability. Environmental data can be notoriously fragmented and inconsistent. You might encounter incomplete data sets, errors stemming from varying collection methodologies, or even gaps due to sensor malfunctions. Weather events can also introduce significant noise and inaccuracies into data from sources like satellite imagery.
Right.
This unreliability can lead to flawed analyses and undermine the accuracy of predictive models. Imagine trying to build a model to predict air quality in a city with inconsistent readings from different monitoring stations. The output would be questionable at best.
That makes perfect sense. If the information you're feeding into the system isn't reliable, you can't expect reliable results. What's another key hurdle?
The inherent complexity of environmental systems poses a major challenge.
How so?
Well, the environment is this vast web of interconnected factors. You've got climate patterns, human activities, intricate ecological interactions, all playing off each other.
Right, it's not simple.
Not at all. This complexity makes it incredibly difficult to develop models that can accurately capture all the relevant variables and their dynamic relationships. Reducing these systems to a set of equations is a significant simplification, and the models need to be interpreted with that in mind.
So it's not just a matter of feeding in numbers and getting definitive answers.
Yeah, Chief.
There are a lot of interacting forces at play.
Precisely. And as we touched on earlier with data collection, the technical challenge of integrating diverse data types, trying to seamlessly combine data from satellites, ground-based sensors, historical records that might have different formats, different resolutions that can be quite significant.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Overcoming these limitations requires ongoing advancements in data management and analytical techniques. It's a constantly evolving field.
The report then pivots to how data science is driving innovation in the creation of more sustainable products. How is this data-driven approach leading to greener goods?
This is a really exciting area, actually. Data is allowing for a much more informed approach to product development. By analyzing extensive data on, say, consumer preferences, emerging market trends, and crucially, the environmental impacts associated with different materials and processes,
Okay.
businesses can gain invaluable insights. This allows them to design and manufacture products that are not only environmentally responsible, but also aligned with what the market actually wants.
The report specifically mentions life cycle analysis, or LCA. How does data science enhance the effectiveness of LCA in creating sustainable products?
Certainly. So LCA involves a comprehensive assessment of a product's environmental footprint across its entire life cycle.
From cradle to grave.
Exactly. From the extraction of raw materials to its manufacturing, use, and eventual disposal. Data science significantly enhances LCA by enabling companies to collect and analyze vast amounts of data at each stage of this cycle.
More data, better analysis.
Right. This data-driven approach allows them to pinpoint the stages with the highest environmental impact, whether it's the carbon emissions during manufacturing, the energy consumption during the product's use, or the waste generated at its end of life.
Finding the hotspots.
Precisely. This detailed understanding empowers them to make targeted interventions to reduce their overall environmental burden. For example, an apparel company might use LCA data to compare the environmental impact of different fabric choices.
Ah, like cotton versus polyester or something.
Exactly, considering everything from water usage in growing the raw materials to the energy used in dyeing and finishing. The data helps make that choice clearer from an environmental standpoint.
So it provides the evidence base for making more sustainable choices throughout the entire product journey.
Exactly. And this data also strongly supports the adoption of circular economy principles.
Right, reuse, recycle.
Yeah. By analyzing data on resource efficiency and a product's potential for reuse, recycling, or disassembly at the end of its life, companies can design products with these considerations in mind from the outset.
Designing for circularity.
Correct. This not only minimizes environmental impact by keeping materials in use for longer, but can also unlock new business opportunities for innovative, eco-friendly products and services that appeal to environmentally conscious consumers.
Finally, the report underscores the crucial role of data science in bolstering corporate social responsibility (CSR) initiatives. How are these two areas becoming increasingly intertwined?
Well, data science provides businesses with the essential tools to rigorously evaluate, monitor, and ultimately improve the effectiveness of their CSR efforts.
So it's about proof.
In large part, yes. In today's landscape, stakeholders, customers, investors, the public, they're increasingly demanding transparency and demonstrable accountability regarding social and environmental performance.
They want to see the receipts, so to speak.
Exactly. Data-driven CSR initiatives allow companies to move beyond simply stating their commitments to providing concrete evidence of their impact.
So it's about backing up their claims with measurable results.
Precisely. Data science enables companies to accurately measure key performance indicators, KPIs, related to sustainability, community engagement, ethical conduct.
Tracking progress.
Right. By analyzing large data sets, they can track their progress towards specific CSR targets, like reductions in greenhouse gas emissions, improvements in workplace safety, or the extent of their positive contributions to local communities. This data-driven tracking allows them to identify areas where they are making significant progress and, importantly, areas where further improvement is needed.
And this data also plays a key role in how they communicate their CSR efforts to the outside world.
Absolutely. Data science facilitates much more effective reporting and communication of CSR initiatives. By generating evidence-based reports, companies can clearly and transparently demonstrate their achievements to their stakeholders.
Building trust.
Exactly, building trust and enhancing their reputation. This level of data-backed reporting can also contribute to raising industry benchmarks for social and environmental responsibility as companies strive to showcase their progress with verifiable metrics.
So to bring it all together, it really sounds like data science is rapidly becoming an indispensable tool for businesses that are truly committed to environmental sustainability.
I agree with that.
It's driving efficiency, helping to manage risks, fostering innovation in greener products, and strengthening their corporate social responsibility efforts.
That's an excellent summary. It allows for a much more strategic and, well, informed approach to environmental stewardship than has ever really been possible before.
But as we've discussed, it's vital to keep in mind the inherent limitations around, data quality and the sheer complexity of environmental systems.
Definitely. Those are ongoing challenges.
They require continuous refinement of data collection methods and modeling techniques.
Indeed. And it highlights that while the potential benefits are immense, the successful application of data science in this field necessitates careful consideration and a deep understanding of both the data itself and the broader environmental context in which it operates. It's not just plug and play.
This has been a truly insightful deep dive into the ways data is reshaping environmental strategies in the business world. It certainly gives you a lot to think about.
Hopefully.
Considering the ever-increasing volume and accessibility of environmental data, what unforeseen ways might businesses leverage these insights in the years to come to achieve truly sustainable practices that go far beyond our current expectations? Perhaps we're on the cusp of a new era of environmental accountability driven by the power of data. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.